To Dan Whitehead, who's at UCAS headquarters in Cheltenham. So, Dan, what is the picture as far as university places are concerned, and most people getting to where they want to go, and what happens to those who don't?
Well, the situation from UCAS is that when it comes to how many students have actually got places this morning after receiving their A-level results, you're looking at around 425,000, just over 425,000 students getting a place at university or college this morning. Now, that figure is actually up 19% on 2019, 2019 being the year, of course, that students last took exams pre-pandemic. Compared to last year, when students were assessed by their teachers, the number of people getting into university this year is down 2%. Of course, when they got the teacher grade assessments, it was slightly higher last year to accommodate for the disruption. This year, it's 2% down on that. Generally speaking, though, there is a buoyant mood in UCAS because they are looking at a second record high, as say up 19%. However, there are still more than 20,000 students today who have not received the grades that they need to get into their first or second choices, their firm or insurance choices. And what's happening here at the UCAS headquarters is that the phone calls and the tweets and the Facebook messages are starting to come into the more than 270 staff, the student advisors who they've got here in Cheltenham, who are guiding them really now through the process of what steps to take next before September. It is not just advice on which courses are available. There are around 28,000 courses available in clearing in the process for those who didn't get the grades that they needed. So there's still plenty of choice and help available, but they're providing emotional support as well, because of course this is a very difficult morning for many students, tens of thousands of students across the UK, who, as I say, simply didn't get the grades that they needed. So they can contact UCAS, they can go through that system. There's been some criticism about whether or not this was the right year to start that transition back to the pre-pandemic assessments and grades. I suppose it had to start at some point, and it's not gone the full whack in terms of realigning that system, that assessment. There have been adjustments in the exams, in the way they've marked, and it will be over a couple of years before students taking their A-levels see the assessments of their exams go fully back to 2019 and before the pre-pandemic levels. But what we are seeing here at UCAS is the calls and the messages already coming in, people giving out that advice, emotional support, as well as practical advice about how they can continue their educational journey this September.
OK, Dan Whitehead there at UCAS headquarters. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks to, of course, to Fraser Ward and to Ivor Bennett too. Well, the Education Secretary, James Cleverly, told Sky News that the government tried to make this year's exams as fair as possible, given the impact of COVID.
Always to get those grades back to the kind of levels that we were seeing before the pandemic. They were more generous, and I think that's legitimate, but they were more generous during the pandemic years. It was always the plan to get them back. That is going to be seen this year, so students might get slightly lower grades than perhaps they were expecting and that they were hoping. But as I say, I think we should see the majority of students get into the institutions they want to.
I suppose the question, and it's been a question that's been posed by a number of people, is whether or not this kind of educational cohort, the class of 2022, was the correct year in which to get grades back in line with kind of pre-pandemic levels. They have not sat an exam. Their studies have been completely crucified thanks to the pandemic and remote learning and so on. And we know that across the country, the impact of COVID differs depending on how much money is floating around in an area. So just justify the decision to kind of make this lot of students deal with it rather than next year.
Well, as you say, this group of students had a really tough time. That's why I congratulate them so much. And we put adaptations in place. So we made sure that the exams were fair. We gave greater spacing between the exams, just in case students did contract COVID, which put pressure on the marking bodies, but they've stepped up to their responsibilities. But funnily enough, it was the students themselves who were most vocal in their desire to ensure that they had qualifications which were fair but robust and taken seriously both by institutions and employers.
James Cleverly, the Education Secretary there, and we've just actually had a statement from his department, from the Department for Education in the last few minutes, talking about record numbers of 18-year-olds taking up their place at university. They've said 425,830 students will be taking up a place at a UK university after a record for an examination year. They say that statistics show more disadvantaged 18-year-olds than ever have secured a university place for an examination year. And nearly 180,000 18-year-old students in England have had their place at their first choice of university confirmed. And they say that this is the largest number ever on record for an examination year. It's a 20% increase on 2019, when, of course, exams were last sat. They also say that this is the first year that students have taken summer exams since 2019. And as part of the off-qual transition period back to pre-pandemic grades, AS, A-level and vocational and technical qualification results received today will be higher than in 2019 in recognition of the disruption that students experienced during their exam years. And then they also say that exams were taken with support and adaptations in place, including advanced information of topics for A-levels, as well as longer assessment windows for vocational and technical qualifications. And so that was that statement from the Department for Education, giving some of the numbers, the facts and figures behind today's results. So let's get some reaction to them. Graham Baldwin is Vice-Chancellor at the University of Central Lancashire, and he joins us now from Preston. A very good morning to you. First of all, what's your experience been this morning? Have you been able to offer most of the students their first choice, if that was you at that university?
Yes, we have. We got the results the weekend before, so we worked, thanks to my colleagues who worked very, very hard over the weekend to make sure we knew where we were with our student body. They have been successful. Our results have come in fairly consistently with the last couple of years, so no major change. And we're very busy this morning as well in our clearing operations. So I think, we can look to a successful year.
So you have got places available for clearing, have you? I mean, give some advice to any of those students who are disappointed. It's a horrible feeling if you don't get the A-level grades that you want. What would your message be to them today and your advice?
Well, you're absolutely right. This is a nerve-wracking day for any students, and congratulations to those who have got their places. For those who have been disappointed, our advice always is don't panic. Seek advice. Go and speak to the advisors and your teachers in your schools and colleges. Also contact your institutions of first and second choice and just make sure you know the position you're in with them, and then take a step back and decide what it is you want to do, and look around the universities where they're offering courses that are similar to those or the same as those that you want to do. Take your time, get in touch with those universities. Those universities will be staffed today with many, many people who are there to help, lots of people who are used to giving out this sort of advice. And so really it's keep calm, don't panic. There are opportunities out there. Take advice and also take your time. You don't need to rush into this. And there are opportunities out there. If you want to go to university, I think you will be able to.
And the clearing system is there to help people, isn't it, to find alternative places. Do you have some sympathy with this year's cohort? They've had a really disrupted time in their education because of the pandemic. They've seen their grades deliberately corrected a bit this year after the inflation that we've seen over the last couple of years. They've had a huge amount of challenges facing them. Do you feel a bit sorry for them?
Oh, yes, I have sympathy with everybody who has had to experience the pandemic over the last few years. And clearly students in this year, as well as the last couple of years, have been disrupted. Their studies have been disrupted. We all know that. But I know that schools, colleges and universities have worked incredibly hard to reduce that by as much as possible. And I think the thing we've always got to remember is that year on year, the cohorts are no more or less intelligent than the previous ones, and we need to factor that in, and we will do. And of course, that once they get into university, they won't be disadvantaged. They will be able to enjoy the full university experience with all of the opportunities that brings. So yes, sympathy, but I know that the education system generally has worked very, very hard to ensure that we can give them as good an experience as possible, and they can achieve what it is they want to achieve and exploit their abilities.
And the results are higher than the pre-pandemic levels, but they are lower than the last couple of years when we saw those teacher-assessed grades being put forward. Was this the right year, in your view, to make that deliberate correction, given the challenges that these pupils have faced?
I think that your reporter said earlier, you know, that there's probably never the ideal time to start this, but you have to start sometime. And I haven't yet done a full analysis of the way the results have panned out across the sector, so I really need to take a look at that. But what I would like to say is it's to reassure students that, you know, there are opportunities out there. And once they get into university, you know, we will be able to deliver what they want and take into account, you know, their achievements this year. So I don't think it's anything to worry about in the longer term.
And generally, do you think that A-levels are a good measure of pupils' performance? Are they helpful to you? Are they a good preparation for university?
They are. I think, you know, there are different courses that suit different students. We shouldn't ignore the fact that a lot of our students will come in as mature students who haven't gone through that traditional route. A lot of our students will come in having done general qualifications and BTEC qualifications and things, and they are also ideal. So, you know, we need to recognise that going into university education, there are a variety of routes in and a variety of qualifications that are appropriate, and the A-levels are just one of those.
Absolutely. Well, Graham Baldwin, really good to talk to you this morning. I know it's an incredibly busy day for you, and I hope it's an exciting one with a new load of students heading your way. Thanks very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
A 44-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder following the fatal stabbing of Thomas O'Halloran. The 87-year-old was killed in West London while riding a mobility scooter on Tuesday. Well, our correspondent Matthew Thompson has the latest from Greenford in West London.
Police have announced this morning that in the early hours they arrested a 44-year-old man in Southall, which is just to the south of where we are now in Greenford in West London. The man's been arrested on suspicion of murder and he remains in police custody. Detective Chief Inspector Jim Eastwood, who's leading the investigation for the Met, said that the arrest happened as a result of the release of CCTV images yesterday of a man that police were keen to identify and speak to. And he also said that the investigation is proceeding at pace, and you can probably see behind me there's still a significant police presence here at the scene, a wide police cordon still in place. You may even just be able to make out the blue and white outline of a Metropolitan Police forensics tent as officers continue their inquiries. But the murder of 87-year-old Thomas O'Halloran has shocked the local community here, both because of the horrific nature of the attack itself on a elderly, vulnerable man who was disabled on a mobility scooter, but also because Mr. O'Halloran was a well-known figure in the local community, largely because he spent quite a lot of time busking with his accordion outside the local supermarket, raising money for charity, including recently for Ukraine. Locals have said that he was affectionately nicknamed Uncle Tom, and he was thought to have been stabbed on Tuesday in a road just to the right of me, travelled about 70 metres on his mobility scooter before flagging down a member of the public for help. Clearly, tragically, little could be done to save him, but the investigation into his murder is the 6th such investigation to be launched by the Met in the last 4 days alone in London, and the 66th so far this year.
Matthew Thompson reporting there. You're watching Sky News Today. Do stay with us. Coming up, one of Britain's richest businessmen says he's serious about buying Manchester United.
Look at that sheet of flame, and it's moving this way.
And over there is Dover.
We track the changes happening to our world right now.
I think it's a procession of the Taliban. There they are, right here.
Would you, as Prime Minister, be able to look them in the face?
Let's have a look at both of those two things.
I just want to say thank you for having the courage to speak to us.
We do genuinely believe in what we do, to show the truth.
I thought there was an astonishing story there.
I'm David Blevins, and I'm Sky's senior Ireland correspondent. I'm based in Belfast, a city transformed by peace, but still struggling with its past. Politically, the two sides are as far apart as ever, and it's over that question of who has sovereignty in Northern Ireland, the very issue that's been the source of tension here for generations. It takes 60 minutes to cross the Irish Sea. It took the British monarchy a century. I've spent 25 years reporting the journey from conflict to peace.
The political parties of Northern Ireland have reached agreement.
We help you understand the world with us.
Today, we have reached an agreement with the Conservative Party on support for government in Parliament.
We already know what the government gets out of this deal. What exactly does the DUP get out of it? Well, £1.5 billion. Welcome to Winterfell. It's an iconic location in this globally acclaimed drama. Ophelia was the most powerful hurricane this far east in the Atlantic on record. You can't live in a place like this and not appreciate the environment.
One of Britain's richest businessmen, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, says he's serious about buying Manchester United. There have been reports that the club's owners, the US-based Glazer family, could be interested in selling a minority stake. They faced renewed hostility from fans as the club currently sits at the bottom of the Premier League table after 2 games. Well, a spokesperson for Ineos, a company owned by Ratcliffe, said it would be interested in purchasing a smaller stake with a view to eventually buying the club. They said, if something like this was possible, we would be interested in talking with a view to long-term ownership. This is not about the money that has been spent or not spent. Jim Ratcliffe is looking at what can be done now, and knowing how important the club is to the city, it feels like the time is right for a reset. So let's get a little bit of reaction from our business presenter, Ian King, to this. He's in the city for us this morning. Ian, welcome to you. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe interested in Manchester United. Tell us a little bit more about him and why his eyes might be on the club.
Hi, Anna. Well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as you say, is one of Britain's richest people, if not Britain's richest man. He's had a very distinguished career in the petrochemicals industry. But crucially, he is a lifelong Manchester United supporter. He grew up in Failsworth. He was born in Failsworth, just up the road in Greater Manchester. His family moved at the age of 10 across to East Yorkshire, to Hull. He did a chemical engineering degree at the University of Birmingham. And from there, he went on to become a management accountant, first at Esso Petroleum and then at Courtaulds, which was a big fibre, textiles and chemicals business. But from there, he took a management degree, an MSc, at London Business School, and since then he's really spent his time in the chemicals industry. He initially worked for Advent, which is a private equity company. He used his experience there to form a company called Inspec, which was a specialty chemicals business that was formed from a business that he bought from BP in 1992 for £40 million. He floated that on the stock exchange less than 2 years later with a valuation of £136 million, and the business was sold in 1998 for £611 million. Now, that would have been enough for some people, but he didn't rest on his laurels. He then bought a part of Inspec out, and that was the business that became Ineos, and that's really the company on which he has built the spectacular fortune that he now enjoys. His wealth has been put at between 13 and 15 billion pounds. It's very hard to get an exact estimate on it because Ineos is a privately owned company. It's not listed on the stock exchange, and therefore it's difficult to put a precise valuation on the company and its assets. But Ineos has been a business that he's built up over the last 17 years or so through a series of acquisitions, mainly from companies like BP, including another one was ICI, and it really has become a major powerhouse in the chemicals industry. Now, as time has gone on, Sir Jim has used the fortune that he's accumulated through Ineos to have a bit of fun and enjoy himself. He has, for example, he bought the Team Sky cycling team, now renamed Team Ineos, of course. He was interested in buying Chelsea Football Club earlier this year when that was put up for sale following Roman Abramovich's requirement to sell following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And he's also bought a couple of football clubs across continental Europe, including Lausanne in Switzerland and Nice, which is a team in the French second division. So Manchester United, it would be a very, very big step up from those activities. He's also bankrolled various sailing ventures. He's very friendly with the British Olympian Sir Ben Ainsley, and he's also come up with a new vehicle that he hopes will be a sort of successor to the Land Rover Discovery, if you like, called the Grenadier, which is why Ineos team cycling team has the name Grenadier in the title as well. But as I say, Manchester United would be a very big step up indeed. It's a different order in terms of those sporting activities. If I was a Manchester United fan, I would probably not be getting too excited about this for a number of reasons. First of all, We don't know that the Glazer family is particularly interested in selling full control. That is something that was acknowledged in that statement put out by Ineos. They're potentially only looking at selling a partial stake in the business, which is something that they did back in 2012, of course, when they floated the club on the New York Stock Exchange. They brought in external investors there, but crucially, they have retained control. So it's not by any means clear that they're interested in selling. And secondly, the valuation that the Glazers put on the club is something like $6 billion. Well, its market capitalisation last night was only $2.23 billion. And I suspect Sir Jim would be looking to pay closer to that price than the $6 billion valuation that the Glazers are putting on the club. So I think there's a long way to go here. I would not be getting very excited if I was a Manchester United supporter.
Very interesting, Ian. Thanks very much indeed. Well, actually, the Manchester United...
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
A lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing. One of the things that's the start of the darkness. So what did that myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show. Online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone,
all around the world.
broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
And the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I salute each and every one of you, and I want to welcome you to today's edition of the morning show. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is Thursday, the 18th day of August, the year 2022, with the time now 10:42 from the hearts of London, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, so from now till 12:30, where I'll bring the program to a close, I'm going to be your captain. But let me say good morning to the team. Mr. Olaimi Koiki, massive good morning to you. To Mr. Francis Guy working behind the scenes as well. Mr. Frank Davis working behind the scenes. I salute each and every one of you, and I welcome you all to the morning show. So wherever you are, just stay glued to your sets. Don't you go away. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back, I'll bring you some music, and I will be telling you more about what is going to be done today. So stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 10:46 from the House of London. And it is the Thursday edition of the morning show, 10:45 the time now. And by way of program, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Exactly at 11 o'clock, we'll be bringing Mr. Olaimi Koiki with Niger, with updates from Nigeria. Now, he'll be talking a bit about what happened on the Niger Voices yesterday. For those of you who missed out on the program, yes, we'll be bringing you some sneak view of what you might have missed out. You did miss out. No, you might have. If you missed it, you really missed it. Big time. All right, then. So we'll be bringing you more on that front as well. And then after that, we'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds across the globe. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. We'll continue from there, and then exactly at 12:30, we'll bring curtains down for the end of the program. Yes, it's a Thursday edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely, Archie. Let me say good morning to Sir Moses. Sir Moses, I've not heard from you this week. I hope you are doing very, very well. To Aziz, all the way in the US, and to our listeners in the Americas, I salute each and every one of you. Those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, we salute each and every one of you. Tosino in Moscow, massive good morning to you. Anthony Adedeji in the US, good morning to you as well. And as many of you who have tuned in this morning to listen to us, I salute you and I say welcome to the program once again. Now, let's move on straight to the quote for the day. The quote for the day says, to say that success is by luck is to conclude in essence that opportunity is not created by but merely chanced upon. You need not make any effort towards it. Well, you have to work and work your backside like no man's business to get to that particular place. So wherever you are listening to us from, that is a word of advice to you. But it's now time for the weather front, what is happening on the weather front or the weather forecast, and let me bring that your way in a momento. All right, so when it comes to the weather front, well, a cloudy day so far, but for London and the southeast of England, this afternoon we'll see a mixture of variable cloud, sunny spells, and the odd sharp shower in places. Any showers will ease towards evening with spells of late sunshine developing. Now tonight will start dry with clear spells during the early hours. A band of cloud and showery rain will gradually push in from the northwest with a few heavy bursts likely. Okay. The temperature is going to be 26 degrees. The lower is going to be 17 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high. UV level is going to be moderate. And pollution is going to be low. Sunset 2018 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:50 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. And we'll be moving on straight to your travel update. So wherever you are, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just bear with me. One of the computers coming on. Just bear with me, and I'll be bringing you more on that front. Okay. Okay. Let's. Okay. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll bring you the travel update. So stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay. So keep your eyes on the roads. So we're keeping navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio. You can travel up there. I can see where every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:50, and this is what is happening on your travels. Yes, those of you on the underground, London over underground, National Radio, RMT, TSSA, and Unite have voted in favor of striking on Thursday, that's today, and Friday, that's tomorrow, and Saturday, 20th of August. So the next 3 days, the rail industry has implemented its contingency plans to minimize customer disruption. Most train operating companies will run amended timetables on Thursday and Saturday, August. There may also be some disruption to services the day before, between, and after the strike. But keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. Now, RMT union strike action will affect all national rail train operating companies on Thursday and Saturday, August. For the latest information from each train operating company, please, you have to check on their website, and then you can get that as well. So that is some information for you. So virtually, let me say that will bring me to okay, let me try to see whether I've got any other. Now when it comes to the underground as well, I mean, is Elizabeth Line Central Paddington normal service starting from 07 to 22:30. But keep your eyes on the roads. When it comes to the buses, services affected in West and Southwestern London and parts of Surrey, there are lots of them. So I can tell you assuredly that you have to check your travels before you go. Yesterday, Mr. Olaimi Koiki was saying it before we went on. So check. It's going to be a tough time traveling today. If you can work from home, I think ideally that would be the best thing to do. But Jacob Rees-Mogg think that you guys have to come to the office. Alright then, so on that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your coming for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
To the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Yes, welcome back to the program. It's now gone 10:53 and we just have to crack on. Yes, when it comes to updates from Nigeria that will be coming your way in the next few moments, please confirm threat to attack Lagos. Security agencies effect partial lockdown. And then Emirates suspends flight from Nigeria over trapped $85 million. Where is that money? Where has it gone to? And that's why the Zongo man will ask the question, where is the dollar? We'll be looking more into those stories as well. So wherever you are, continue to pass your comments or post your comments, and I will be reading that as well. Now when it comes to other stories making the rounds in Nigeria, which Mr. Olaimi Koiki is trying to get, Obasanjo bombs PDP over Atiko's choice, and the Tinubu sends message to Obasanjo after visit, and the Tinubu meets APC governors after trip to Abeokuta. Well, more is going to be coming from the PDP crisis. Now pressure mounts on Ayu to step aside as all video surfaces. What did he do? We'll be telling you more about all that in the next few moments. And then moving on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. in Ghana. Bawumia does not have roots in MPP. That's what one of them is saying there. And then that's one of the newspapers saying, or websites saying in Ghana, economic crisis, government sabotaging private schools. NAPS is saying we'll be looking more into that as well. How is government doing so? We'll be telling you more on that front. And then some other story there as well. Okay. Just bear with me. I'll be coming down to the music in a moment. But now it does not make sense any longer to buy treasury bills. Professor Lord Mensah is saying, well, if it doesn't make sense, then where do you even invest your money to make some profit? I mean, people are talking about dire times in Ghana, and I think that, well, around the West Coast, yeah. Okay, now, Labianca case, a Hunter Traditional Council wants the Office of Special Prosecutor to retract influence peddling comments against CEO. You remember back in the day when they talk about that, this is our thief. It's our thief. That's what Professor Lumumba said. He said, it's our thief. Don't touch our thief. It's our own thief. We want him like that. University of Ghana wins 165 million judgment debt case. And that's quite an interesting one. And a good one there for them as well. I hope that there's not going to be any appeal on that story as well. But still moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Security trade high on the agenda as SADC leaders meet in Kinshasa. Why is that happening there is one of the stories that we're going to be looking at. Egypt's central bank governor resigns amid economic woes. So all the central bank governors resign now because maybe they didn't tackle things very well, and that's of course about all this thing that is happening now. Ethiopian rebels propose humanitarian truce amid drought, and Mali calls for emergency security council meeting on French acts of aggression. So what is the French doing there? It's one of the stories making the rounds. Now, there are some other stories from Kenya as well, but I'll be bringing you more on those fronts in a moment. Okay, now moving on to some other stories still making the rounds in other parts of the world. Preparing for the West at Ukraine nuclear plant. Now, ministers say they are drawing up plans in case there is a radioactive emergency at Zaporizhia site, and then blast rips through crowded Kabul mosque, killing 21. At least 21 people are killed and another 33 injured in the Afghan capital, Taliban officials have said. Who perpetrated the act? At least 26 dead in Algeria forest fires. Countries on the Mediterranean have been ravaged by wildfires this summer, especially in Europe. Okay, so yeah, we are bearing the brunt of the weather phenomenon. Rushdie suspect read two pages of satanic verses. Hadi Mata gives an interview after pleading not guilty to stabbing the actor, say Salman Rushdie. And Kampa drink more. Japan tells youth. The governor's tax agency has launched a program to encourage a new generation of sick drinkers, so they need to drink more. A Japanese fashion pioneer, Hanai Mori, dies aged 96. A trailblazer in her field, she was the first Asian designer to break into French haute couture. Okay, and bodies found in New Zealand suitcases were of young children. The victims, thought to be aged up to 10, were found in suitcases bought at auction last week. My goodness, what a buy. Well, it's all going to be coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And then in the UK, A-level results set to fall from pandemic highs, and grades based on teachers' assessment has led to a boom in top marks in the last 2 years. But now reality has dawned on them. So what is happening? Are you a parent? Have your children received their results? And how do you see it? Did they put their best foot forward? Let me say good morning to Odua Tide. It's Echo Eto to you as well. Now, train strike disruption to hit us only 20% is running. And then some breaking news coming through. MP pleads guilty to exposing public to COVID. Margaret Ferrari traveled on a train between London and Glasgow after testing positive for the virus. Let her be, because after all, the Prime Minister, when he was having their parties and stuff like that, what happened? Let her be. Give her a fine of £50. Let her pay that and let her go her way. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's hear this song from Enid Morrison. It says, God is good. I'll be having Miss Olaimi Koiki joining us in the next few moments, so stay tuned, don't you go away.
This is Starr Radio UK.
All around the world. The best radio show.
Adulawo TV says, well done, sir. Well done to you, sir, as well. And Okubeyo, okay, my apologies there. Okuboyejo Tajuddin said, the White Lion, Ogo Adulawo, Yoruba Nation now. You're welcome, my dear brother, Mr. Koiki. Let all our people be vigilant at home. When we talk about that, well, following the security agents have arrested 7 suspected bandits in Kaduna. A lot more going to be coming your way. Once we have Mr. Limey on, it's going to be bringing you details of it. But do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. It's All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Enjoy the rest of that music, and then we'll have Mr. Limey Koiki on ASAP.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 8 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. And I've got Mr. Limey Koiki, who is getting ready to join in. But wherever you are, just stay tuned. Don't touch the dial, because we're going to be bringing you some stories that is making the rounds in Nigeria today. Interestingly, Lagos is on a lockdown because of a threat of an attack there as well. But what do you think? What do you think? What is government doing? Do you think they have a way forward? Do you have any plan? They have any plans for the country as a whole and for the state as well? The state governor, what is he actually up to? There's a lot more going to be looking at, but I will want you to stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Mickey Babs. Equator to you as well. In the audio today, audio today he's talking to you. So wherever you are. All right then. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But unfortunately, we can't see Yomi. So let's see whether Yomi can adjust.
No. It's from my end. I'll come back in just about a few seconds.
Okay then.
Means business. We discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 10 minutes past 11. And I have Ms. Olaimi Koiki, who has joined in on the program. So we're going to be going to him for the updates from Nigeria. But let me first of all say, Yomi, massive good morning to you.
It is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Very good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And we welcome you once again back to the morning show that comes up every Monday to Friday between the hours of 11 o'clock, where I join in. But you can actually join the program from 10:30 a.m. where Archie or Frank kickstart the program that takes you around the whole of Africa, Europe and Asia in terms of the news, before I finally join at exactly 11 o'clock just to tell you everything you need to know when it comes to Nigeria.
Yes. How are you doing after that long program and quite an interesting one?
Well, a lot of people might be asking what program again, but what you might probably need to understand is, every Wednesday, we all have it right here on Starr Radio UK. This is where we discuss, issues pertaining to Nigeria. We discuss issues pertaining to the self-determination, and also discuss issues about the election for those that believe that an election should hold come 2023. We had two different guests yesterday. Even though I haven't got my notepad here, but part of what we discussed yesterday was the first guest was taking us back through, an organization that is here, an association rather, not even an organization, and that organization is all about the Lagos State Union. The Lagos State Union will be celebrating their 30 years of, being together, as an organization. So we had the privilege, to speak to the, to the president of that particular association yesterday, and he told us what they've been doing and what we should be expecting next week when it comes to the program that they have ready for us. Where we then take us to the next segment at about 7:05, where we have what I call Big Daddy. Big Daddy is an elderly Yoruba man that lives here in UK, and he actually took us through the journey that a lot of us would probably not know. And what is the journey all about? The journey is all about those of us that are having the back of our mind that we want, to actually want a nation of our own. But how do you have a nation is the question. What are the ways to to become an independent nation? But when you become an independent nation, are you going to be having the same problem that you have from the previous country that you have? I was actually discussing, UK leaving Europe 2016, and some of the reason was nothing more than the fact that they wanted to control their borders. They wanted to make sure that their policy is not yet being challenged at the European court for some of us that have made advantage of it, especially when it comes to the law. So part of that is what we discussed yesterday in terms of advantage of having a Yoruba nation. It was a full-packed 2.5 hours program. If you have missed that, you can go back on Starr Radio UK YouTube channel, on Instagram, and likewise on Twitter or on Facebook, Archie Amon, where you can literally listen to almost everything that was said. You will not miss out. But next week, we will be back again with more conversation on what we call Niger Voices on Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Well, listeners, so if you missed out, you know what to do. But next time, please don't miss out on it. We know at times because of work schedule, so at times some busy schedule, we are not able to join in. But as it said, the places that we have to go. Just go there and have a real look or listen to the program and watch at the program as well. Okay, now interestingly, I saw that story and I was worried. But before then, let me say good morning to Miss Gold. Yes, it's good to see you guys today. How are you? We are doing very, very well. We hope you are doing well too. Oluremi Kilanko It's Ogabi says, good morning, Star Radio UK, Frank, Archie, Lion, Mikoiki, and the fans. Yes, good morning to you all. Moyi Wasunuga says, good morning, house. And Oleremi says, good morning. Oh, Duatide, Mickey Babs, and Mickey Babs. Oleremi is also responding there. Prince Abimbola Ochoda says, good morning, Mr. Archie and White Lion. Well done for the daily news. Yoruba Nation has arrived to stay. Okay, keep your comments coming through at Star Radio UK. And let me go back to Yomi. Now, interestingly, this story that's making the rounds, which is worrying because though the federal capital Abuja has been, but I remember back in the day Lagos, and I think that Lagos is still the powerhouse when it comes to Nigeria. For Lagos to be under threat, security threat, for it to be locked down in a way, is quite worrying. What is it all about there?
Well, it takes us back to what we've been saying on Star Radio UK, since almost 3 weeks precisely now. And what is it that we've actually been saying is that there is an imminent threat, in Lagos State, and we shouldn't joke with that. And that is exactly what the Lagos State Police Commissioner have told us yesterday, when it comes to, the insecurity that is, not just in Lagos State, almost every part of Nigeria today is going through one threat or the other. So what do we know and what can we say is that, Lagosians will be waking up this morning, with this news about the threat. It's not just a threat, it is also going to be creating a total partial, lockdown, from, Lagos State, as we know. Only yesterday we were discussing, with, the Lagos State Union Association, that we had yesterday on the program, and I was asking before we go into the news, what does it mean? I'm talking to the president, Mr. Ibrahim Igbo, that is the president of the Lagos State Union UK and Ireland. These are associations that will be celebrating their 30th anniversary celebration in London on the 27th next week. And I did ask him, when you look at Lagos today and the Lagos that we know that I had from my mom, that used to be in the 70s up to the 80s, and then probably just about 90s, then things started changing. But today, there is now a breaking news that is an imminent attack in Lagos. Security threat. Police commissioner have now declared Lagos State under a partial lockdown. According to the Mr. Labi, said the partial lockdown was for a purpose, stressing that the police and other security agencies in Lagos were ready for any intruders. Who are these intruders, and where are they getting the intelligence that intruders will invade Lagos State? Let me take you back to Owo, which was an attack again in Yoruba land in Ondo State, and that literally means that the Oni of Ife, the Oni of Ife, who is the one of our royal monarch and the first class king, this is what he had to say after the Owo attack. He actually came out to tell us that the Yoruba can't be overrun. Yes, Yoruba land is still not officially out of Nigeria, but the southwest part of Nigeria is what we are discussing today. And Lagos State being, the backbone of Nigeria, almost the biggest income come through the Lagos State. But remember that the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeye Ogunwusi, that condemned the attack of the St. Francis Catholic Church, in July when this actually happened, has also said during that statement that while describing the incident as a gruesome massacre targeted at turning a Yoruba land to a war zone, the monarch said Yoruba people have the capacity to defend themselves, even though they are peace-loving. Are we now saying that Lagos State will be able to defend the intruders that we've been told? Star Radio UK, exactly 18 minutes past 11. I will come back now to you in the studio.
Well, it's a serious situation that is going on there when we come to Lagos State, because you're looking at the day-to-day hustling and bustling that goes on. You have people who have to go about their duties. But on the ground this morning, I don't know whether you've spoken to anybody in Lagos today. What is going on? Are people in their homes and with a threat? I mean, they say the security threat and whatever intel that they have. Who are exactly? Are they looking out for Fulanis? Are they looking out for some bandits? Who are they looking out for? so that the public will know that, oh, these are the ones. So we see it, say something, and then you done something about it.
Well, I mean, let's go back, to who are they actually looking forward to? I mean, these intruders. There's a lot of pressure, I believe, on the security agency in Lagos State. And according to the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Abiodun Alabi, says that surveillance has now been raised due to the threat of attack. He was disclosing this during the Lagos State Stakeholder Forum on Police Accountability quarterly meeting, which was yesterday. He assured that police and other security agencies were ready for any intruders. According to Nigerian agencies news, quoted him saying that stop and search at different places was part of the effort to apprehend likely attackers. The question you ask is, who are these likely attackers? Who are they looking forward to? I mean, that are going to be the intruder, to the threat of Lagos State and the Lagosians and the other 20 million. I listened to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu some few weeks ago, and according to him, the data that they have says 6 million Lagosians, including the 14 million that are doing businesses and in and out of Lagos. So as we speak right now, 20 million people's life is currently at risk, with this threat. But who are they going to be, looking up to, and what should be the, the kind of information that should be distributed from the market to the church to the mosque, to communities, so that people can also alert and help the security agency to some of these intruders that they might probably not know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But again, someone will tell you that you remember, I think a couple of weeks back, where we had some people actually, one guy who was arrested because he managed, I think it was, is it a Boko Haram or something, they managed to infiltrate into a company or something, and so he was working with the people living amongst them. Meanwhile, he was one of them who was plotting to do something. So it's quite difficult. I know it's a difficult task for the what do you call it, the security. However, what is the state governor himself doing? What has he said about it? What has he said about this? Because if Lagos State should be locked for 2 days, 3 days. My goodness, can you just imagine how much money will go as a waste, or business that's going to go bust?
Well, let's remember that Nigerians live, on a daily basis income. So that means, if you don't go out there, you are probably not likely, to have an income for yourself and your family and your loved ones. So every Nigerian today, rely on a daily income. So you have to go out there. But, when you look at the security, situation in Nigeria today, and not just in Lagos, we're literally having a lot of security threat, with the influx of the Fulanis that are coming in through the borders, and some other element criminality that is happening. And let me just give you an example. Just about an hour or 2 hours ago, before coming on air, security operatives again in Lagos, Isolo Division, have arrested a fake naval officer, Anthony Neri, at about 1800 hours just yesterday at the Sele area of Lagos State, following information that was received from the members of the public. So you can see that the members of the public is literally needed, to help the security agency. But how do you know who you are actually looking for? Because the police commissioner have not really elaborate on that.
Well, we'll be watching very closely. We'll be watching very closely because like the conversation that you had with this gentleman yesterday, Mr. Ibrahim Igbo, where he was talking about the 30th anniversary, Lagos, and you have things like that happening. It's quite scary, and you get yourself worried. Those of us in the diaspora, if I want to go for such an event or something of the sort, I ask myself the question: is it worth doing it? Well, but whatever it is Starr Radio UK. Don't you go away. Let me say good morning to Sir Moses Alanu. Yes, it's a good morning, Archie and Koiki, and then Suleiman Yusuf. Good morning to you. And Yoruba Ogo says, you're welcome to the program, White Lion. Tafik Razak say, well done, Yoruba Nation. Now, no going back. And Oluwasegun Adebayo says, they only doing stop to collect money, my brother. It is true. They stop somebody, the person can give them some money. I bet you they'll let the person go. Believe yourself. Also, channel also say, good morning, guys. It is Starr Radio UK. the Thursday edition of the morning, so 11:24. And let's come to some other stories. Emirates suspends flight from Nigeria over trapped $85 million. Now, what has brought about that?
Well, every airline, operates in any part of the world, will definitely at some point want to take back, whatever, fee after the government charges, and let me break it down. What we know today is that the Emirates have now suspended flight to Nigeria from next month. So if you're going to be traveling to Nigeria and you are en route going from from United Arab Emirates, and you're planning to use an Emirate airline, please do check before you buy the ticket, because what actually is going to be happening is more people are going to be buying the ticket in Nigeria, not even realizing that the flight is not going to be going out and off Nigeria. Emirates has now announced today the suspension of its flight operation in Nigeria from September 1 next month, 2022. It said that the suspension became necessary following its inability to repatriate funds from Nigeria. International carriers operating in Nigeria have repeatedly complained about their inability to recoup back their funds to their own countries. They have raised this concern on many occasions with the officials of the Federal Ministry of Aviation as well as those at the Finance Ministry. The block funds belong to this airline have now risen to about $600 million, as this is due to the inability of the Central Bank of Nigeria to make United States dollar available for the carrier to return the money back to their own country.
Well, an interesting one there as well. But what has the aviation minister or the transport minister in Nigeria said so far? Are they going to give it to them? Because Nigeria has not got a state airline. Okay, so we are depending on all these airlines. So if Emirates, I mean, we look at Emirates, we know that they are a rich country, and therefore we know that, funding for them to say we're not going to go there, we want that money. What are the other airlines doing, and what has been the response of the transport minister?
Well, never expect too much when it comes to the Nigerian ministers, because as far as we are concerned, most of them are not up to the task. They are more concerned about the upcoming election as against the effect that this could have. We're talking about a lot of Nigerians that probably would travel to Dubai, or those that will be using that route that wants to return back home. Just like you said, Nigeria do not have its own airline, and that means we literally rely on the international airline for us to continue to move our people from point A to point B. But the question this morning is, what is the reason behind that? This is a part of what we discussed yesterday, with Big Daddy, because what we actually said was the reason why we do not have the dollar in our hands, in our hands, literally the central bank, is because Nigeria is not a production country. We do not produce anything. We rely on everything to be imported into the country, and that is a big strain. And for you to be a productive country, you must have the machineries, you must have the personnel, and you must have the money. These three is lacking in Nigeria today, and that would literally mean more problem for maybe some other airline that might stop operating in Nigeria. We do not know yet whether those other ones are still using their money to run within Nigeria, but at some point they might also be asking, if the country cannot pay back their debt, then maybe it's time that we continue to be getting more alarmed and worried about the collapse of Nigeria using in terms of the economy.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Worrying times. But it is now gone 11:28, and let me quickly come to this one. Now, Obasanjo bombs PDP over Atiko's choice. So what problem is in there in PDP?
Well, Obasanjo is someone that was a former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He was a military dictator at some point, and yes, there was quite a lot of activities yesterday because the presidential candidate of the APC paid him a courtesy visit. You could tell with some of the images that was beamed out to millions of people around the world. You could tell with the body language that Obasanjo you could tell in terms of the body language. But why Tinubu August visit to Obasanjo is significant is one of the headline. The presidential candidate of the National leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, paid a point-in-history visit to former Olusegun Obasanjo yesterday at the penthouse Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta, in Ogun State, the capital. While details of the meeting have not been made to the public, the event is undoubtedly a significant one for many reasons. But you talked about Atiku. Atiku was the former vice president under the Olusegun Obasanjo when he came in as well, and at some point they had a lot of loghead together. So Atiku, as we know as well, between Obasanjo and Atiku, it has always been one issue or the other, and just like the PDP are going through their own difficult time as well. But one thing is there will be a lot, as you said, 2023 election, Obasanjo knocks PDP over choice of a northerner. Atiku says it is the southerner Nigeria turn to produce a Nigeria. So the former Nigerian president Olusegun Obasanjo has berated the People's Democratic Party for choosing the former vice president who served under him, Atiku Abubakar, as his presidential candidate for 2023. Atiku has not responded yet, but Obasanjo said he would not support Atiku because of that.
Wow, then that's serious, because if Obasanjo, who seems to be called it a kingmaker, decide that I'm not going to support you, that means that your presidential ambition is gone. Because we have information that Tinubu has also whether gone to visit him or has sent a message to him. So virtually,
it was Tinubu was there yesterday. I just said that right now.
Yeah. So is this giving the support to Tinubu or what?
Well, the visit is a bit sketchy, and like I said, he hasn't really, endorsed anyone out there. But what he has continued to say is, the choice, of the 2023 is something that Nigerians, should decide on their own. And Obasanjo actually said that, in one of his interview that we saw, some few days ago. And again, Obasanjo is somebody that a lot of the politicians always flood to get his kind of a support, but it doesn't seem is ready to give anyone support. But even though we do not know what was the discussion between him and Tinubu, remember that when he was the president, there was also a lot of loghead between both of them, in terms of the governor of Lagos State as at the then, and likewise as Obasanjo as at the the president. But 7 days ago, 2023, wrong choice will consume Nigeria, says Obasanjo.
Well, we hope to see what happens. Well, but the question is, will that election even hold or not? That is one question on the lips of most Nigerians when they listen to this program. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Security agents arrest 7 suspected bandits in Kaduna. How? When?
Well, there's a lot going on in Nigeria, and when it comes to the insecurity, is a lot to be concerned and worried about. You're quite right. There was a kind of a security threat as well as Kaduna, as we know, has been a lot of issues as well. I mean, the Nigerian media do call them bandits, but we do know that these are terrorists. And as we say, the Kaduna State government says the security agent have now arrested 7 suspected terrorists in Lere local government of the state. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Mr. Samuel Aruwan, disclosed this in a statement that was issued in Kaduna. Aruwan said the security agency had reported to the government that the 7 suspected terrorists were arrested in Mariri community of Lere local government area. Kaduna is a hot point of the terrorism operation in Nigeria today. Just last week, we saw that the governor himself wrote an internal memo to Buhari telling him that the terrorists are now forming a parallel government in his state. That means that, as the more, security issue, remember that it was the same state where one of the, a driver was kidnapped, spent almost 4.5 months before he was eventually released after about 8,000 to 9,000 pounds, equivalent to almost 8 million naira, was paid before he could regain his freedom. And that is just a picture of him right there, by the engineer that I've just put up that picture. So what we do know is that Kaduna has become a hotbed when it comes to the insecurity in the country today.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Can the security agencies hold the fort for the country? Or as Chino Achebe said, when things fall apart, the center cannot hold. And what happens? Well, disintegration is going to take place. Do you think that's going to happen? Well, we don't know what you think about all that. But wherever you are, don't touch the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. And continue to share your take with us. And I promise you, we're going to be reading them as well. Okay, now let me leave you to Yomi for him to bring us all the other stories that is going on in Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Archie. Blaspheming, appeal court orders retrial of a Kano singer and sentenced to death is one of the headlines coming out this morning. And just as again, Muslim ticket, the shortest distance between Nigeria and Islamic Caliphate. Let's take a look at that, and then as we say, 11:34 a.m. and we go back to some of the headline. When Bola Tinubu chose to run on a Muslim ticket, he set Nigeria on the shortest distance to becoming an Islamic Caliphate. But unfortunately, a Tinubu win will put Nigeria on a slippery slope. No one can predict where the country's religious balance would rest. And if you thought that the palpable ethnic, religious, economic tension would compel Tinubu to be thoughtful and mindful of his choice, in that case, you as well away from reality as possible. Instead, Tinubu looks more like a man auditioning for another title in bravery. Therefore, he throws caution to the wind this time and does not care what image of Nigeria the world sees. And that is something that was put together by the author of that, Mr. Hamilton Odoze, that says Muslim ticket, the shortest distance between Nigeria and an Islamic Caliphate. So we go straight to more other headline, and then we go straight to the social media. Come back again to you in the studio. Once again, it's Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yesterday we saw the country completely went into darkness until there was a quick meeting between the electricity, and the headline we have here says electricity workers have now called off the strike, but the businesses are counting their loss. I mean, I saw the video where they literally, and I think we have the video right on our program here where we can easily show you, is where the electricity agency went in there's nothing that doesn't happen in Nigeria. What you're actually looking up there is where they went in to shut down the power sector for the country, but eventually popped up back again after the strike was called off. But that does now also have a big impact when it comes to the situation of businesses. Businesses and other power consumers were all thrown into darkness yesterday as industrial action embarked upon by the electricity workers, which lasted for almost one day, led to the total shutdown of the national power grid. The power generation also crashed for below 4,000 megawatt as workers of the National Union of Electricity Employees went on strike to protest against compulsory promotion, interview for principal managers, unpaid entitlement, and other issues. Just as we still dealing with the ASU strike, electricity was also added into it as well. Likewise, as we say, now let's go straight. A great grandma have collapsed and dies while climbing a bridge in Lagos State. That is the headline that is coming this morning as well from the the headline that we have. Also, as we continue to say, there's a lot happening in Nigeria, but let me come back to you. But before then, let's take a look at that sad story. There was confusion this week at Bega area of Lagos State after a yet to be identified great grandmother slumped while climbing a pedestrian bridge. According to report gathered that the woman believed to be in her 70s wanted to connect to the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in company of her daughter when the incident happened. By the time the woman was motionless with her tongue sticking out, and we pray for the family of this particular individual as well. I'm going to go straight to the social media, but before then, let's first come back again to you in the studio. But right now, Obasanjo is trending at number 9, and the reason for that is the visit of Tinubu to him. PHCN is also trending, and that has got to do with electricity. NEPA, I'm sure you know the word NEPA. NEPA is currently trending at number 1 with about 21,000 tweets. But before we touch on those ones, I'll come back again to you in the studio. If you're joining us for the first time, you're listening to Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we continue to review all the news and the headlines coming out of Nigeria and other Africans, European and Asian countries on this particular program.
11:39 the time. Mr. Olaimi Koiki in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. But Yomi, that NEPA issue that brought about a total blackout in the country. I mean, it's scary because again, do we have, like in this part of the world? I mean, if the national grid or whoever supplies you with power fails, and maybe your company, I mean, like Starr Radio UK, we're supposed to use power to be on air, and that is causing our clients to suffer, and we are going to lose, revenue. We can sue them for that. Now, do companies do that to the NEPA or those who are supplying power to them?
Well, when we talk about the electricity infrastructure, it is one of the most one of the most failed mission that have kept darkness of Nigerians for the last 62 years. I mean, money has been pumped in, but nothing doesn't seem to be the end result of it. You're quite right, and that was exactly what I said when I was coming off the Niger Voices yesterday. I said we couldn't have done what we did if we do not have the power that is operating fully. And like you said, our power electricity is the headline here. Infrastructure render 17 FTZ inactive. According to what we know, experts have explained why 17 out of the 42 free trade zones in Nigeria are not functional. In an exclusive chat, with the media and economics, Mr. Oluwole Osage Jacobs blame epidemic power supply, bad government policies as reasons for the non-functionality of what we can call 17 out of the 42 free trade zone in Nigeria. The Nigerian Customs Services, in a statement on Friday, said that out of the 42 free trade zone in Nigeria, only 25 were active. The statement read in part, of the 42 free trade zone in the country, only 25 are active, while 15 of them operating in Zone A, 4 in Zone B, 5 Zone Z, in addition to providing employment opportunity in Nigeria. So you can imagine what could have even been a free trade zone. Only 17 function because of the ineptity of the power sector in what we call the greatest, the black populous African nation, the big giant of Africa, but people will say it's just the ant of Africa.
Now, when we talk about yesterday on the Niger Voices, when we talk about industrializing the southwest or the Yoruba area, and we were talking about the various plants that were there. I remember back in the day I visited Nigeria. I was there for about a month, and they took me because I was visiting. We went to various places. The VW, we had the Peugeot, we had various. I mean, factories and stuff like that. You look at them, we're like, wow. Now, at the time, they were still able, though I know that NEPA was giving a bit of problem there, here and there, but they were still able to run their own business. What was helping them at the time? Do you know?
Well, I mean, you would expect that we have the Odutola tires, and the big daddy that spoke to us yesterday took us back to how the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo was able to to think 100 years ahead, because there's nothing, all kind of machineries, whether it's your exclusive vehicle, you would and as the picture there for those that probably would not know who Chief Obafemi Awolowo is, and that's him right there. He actually did the rubber plantation, and if you did ask how were they able to survive, we had the the Odutola tires, we had all kind of different operations of production. I traveled to a particular part of southwest known as Iwokpi, and Iwokpi is if there was nothing of the kind of corruption that we have today in Nigeria, Iwokpi paper mill should have been the #1 in Africa, and if not competing with the world between #1 to 10. But when I traveled down to that particular side, you will cry, for what damage they've done, to Nigerians at a whole. Because when I traveled there, it was not just, a paper mill, but it was also a community that have now become no electricity, no access to the basic things of life, and when we traveled on the boat, you could tell that there's a big problem. The reason why there was a little bit of production as at the time, it was the hoping that there will be more advance to technology to enable power to continue the production. Rather, as we speak today, all sector of the production from the southeast to the southwest to the northern part of the country has completely grounded. That the power sector that is now being used today, when we talk about the 4,000, the whatever megawatt, it is now allocated, to people like the Dangote, the BUA, some of the Indian companies, the Lebanese company, and they have to pay a lot, for you to have, that kind of, extra power into your production line. Even apart from that, they would have to operate on a large kind of generator as a backup. For those that do not have those kind of access, their businesses are not folding up as quickly as possible.
Wow. It is. Because we're talking about the fact that Nigeria seems to be importing too much into the country, and therefore we keep on spending our scarce foreign exchange in just importing anything and anything at all. But if we make the local industry more formidable and is produced, it can challenge whatever is coming from outside, and people will patronize what is coming. But let me ask you one question. Let me digress a bit. Now, if it happens that we have a Yoruba state or Yoruba nation, okay, what do you think you can do to stop that?
Sorry, if you repeat that again. Sorry, Mr.
I was saying that let's say tomorrow we have a Yoruba nation. Okay, now what do you think the leader or leadership will do to stop this discontentment when it comes to power, and then everything, that so that we can have the local industry? Because yesterday we were talking to that man, Big Daddy, and he was talking, and I was asking myself, what can be done now?
Well, I mean, yes, you're quite right. I guess should the Yoruba nation kickstart right now, the first thing, it has to be an industrialized nation if we really want to compete and keep our people rolling out the production and spreading it across African countries. But the reason why, not that some of the states like Lagos State would have been able to run its own power sector separate from the federal system and the way it is operated, but it then goes back to the fake military decree 1999 constitution that was set up by Abubakar Abdul Salam, that led to Obasanjo using the same fake constitution. And as we speak right now, each of the states will not have the enough resources to run their own power sector, because the 1999 constitution do not and will not give them the opportunity to do so. But when we have a nation of our own, that means you can control those kind of energy sector, the wind turbine, and all other avenue to create power to the people across each of the southwest as at the time when a declaration comes. But the reason we don't have that today is a deliberate act to keep Nigerians in darkness, and that is also enlisted in the fake military decree 1999 constitution that has not helped millions of Nigerians to flourish. I'm talking about without an electricity. As of today, a Nigerian is still taking their mobile phone to the 2-3 streets away to get it charged and pick it up in the morning. And the question is, as we have here in UK, where a 16-year-old is currently using the same mobile phone to operate overnight for whatever businesses that they are operating within that mobile phone itself.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. I think we have to bring the update to a close. But tell me what is happening on the social media platform. But before then, Adeoye Rotimi Williams, Nigerians don't plan for people, but plan for election. What a country you are, a nation now. Of course, there are crises going on. Instead of the leadership to talk about those crises, how to sort those things out, they are looking at campaigns running up and down the country, just trying to make themselves popular so that people will vote for them to come and do what? Come and steal the list that is still remaining there. Well, let's go to the social media.
Well, like I said, we're just going to touch on the most important one, which is NEPA. A lot of people we remember NEPA, and it's just something that has become, even those that we are now in our 40s, at some point up NEPA, down NEPA, and a lot of the children today are still singing the same song. So it is actually trending at about 21,000 today. And let's see what people are saying when it comes to NEPA. There's a picture of the president that actually was released at some point, and that picture is now something that a lot of, let's see if we can get that picture, where the president is actually having a toothpick. I'm not sure whether he just finished eating a meat or something, but this picture is what somebody have actually put up there, and I'm gonna get the caption of it as well. But let's see if the engineer can actually give us that image as well. So that is the let's get it a little bit in, so that we can get the the full picture as we speak. Once again, this is Star Radio UK. So that is the president, with a kind of a toothpick in his mouth. This picture was actually released by the government, I think, last year, and it has become, if ASU strike no reach you, at least NEPA strike go reach you. Happy blackout, my people. Hashtag NEPA, hashtag PHCN. And this is coming from at Giddy Traffic. Giddy Traffic is just like any other traffic online businesses, with a huge follower as well. And I can imagine, almost 1.7 million followers. But if you do not have the power sector, you will hardly be able to do anything in the country. So let's take a look at what more people are saying before we bring the program to an end, because we spent quite a lot of time this morning. Once again, blackout in Nigeria is the question that a lot of Nigerians are saying. And the next one says, this vehicle is actually having a fuel as a plate number. I'm not sure how he was able to get that, but the plate number comes with FUEL. Whether this is in Nigeria or not is what I cannot take. I cannot say. The next one is Tinubu has actually promised us and failed before. This is coming from somebody else as well. And the last one that I'm going to take, again, we're still looking at the the NEPA, and I think this one says APC and PDP have been in power for almost 25 years, involved without solving electricity problems. They don't have any plan of solving the problem now, but this person is now saying hashtag Peter Obi for president 2023. Once again, this is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we're bringing the headline from Nigeria to an end this morning. Make sure you continue to stay tuned with Archie to take you through the remaining part of the program. But for me now, I'll be coming out and say a very good morning till we come back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yes, Yomi, let me say massive thank you for that wonderful update, and have a wonderful afternoon, and my regards to my engineer in the background, my chief producer, and all the family. All right then. Thank you so much. I'm back for now. Bye. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Olayomi Koike bringing you updates from Nigeria. It is Star Radio UK. I've lined out a song that I'm going to be bringing your way. And you know what the song says? Crazy ball heads. Chase them out. Chase them out. Well, enjoy it and I'll be with you.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Just those crazy ballin' all up down. And I build a cabin, and I plant the corn. Did my people before me slave this country? Now you look me with the scorn, and you will tip all my corn. You're gonna chase those crazy, just those crazy, just those crazy ballin', just those crazy ballin' all up town. I'm still, ever, the still, live a bit of I'm still, your babe, I'm still your babe, yeah. Feel your penitentiary.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Brand was education.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
There's your reward for our love. Telling us all we got about. We're gonna chase us crazy. Chase us crazy. Just as crazy ballin', just as crazy ballin', all uptown. Here comes the gunman, coming with his gun plan. Won't take no bribe. You got to stay alive.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Just those crazy ballin'. Just those crazy ballin'. Just those crazy bumpin'. Just those crazy ballin'. All uptown.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, chase those crazy ball heads out of the town. One by a cover version by what is his name again? Avis Ramley, and I'd say good morning to you, Avis Ramley, wherever you are. That's a lovely tune there. Chase those crazy ball heads out of the town. But don't you go away, because I'm going to bring you some more cover of some of the songs, very, very notable songs that the late Bob Marley also wrote that speaks to us today. So they spoke as prophets. I mean, people looking into the future and saying, look, this is what is going to be happening. If you don't sit up, you don't stand up, you don't fight for your right, then this is what is going to happen to you. But well, what did our leaders do and what did we do? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world or Africa as well. Now, a couple of weeks or a few days back in Ghana, we had the Office of the National Prosecutor coming out with some scathing remarks against one person who is still part of the what do you call them? What do you call these people? Okay, let me read that story. The Ahanta Traditional Council has called on the Special Prosecutor Kisio Jabin to retract the statement of influence peddling on the Western Regional Member of the Council of State, that's the Council of State, yep, on the issue of tax waivers enjoyed by her company. The council says it is dismayed at the supposed attempt to denigrate the reputation of the chief executive of La Bianca Company, Eunice Jacqueline Boa Asamoah Hene, despite what they claim is evidence that she did not in any way influence favors afforded her company. So how come that she was fined an amount of 1 point something million Ghana cedis? Well, you can see them, the demonstrators or people hailing from that particular community clad in red clothing and black, meaning that they are eye red. The council is bemused that despite the open denial by the Commissioner of Customs, Colonel retired Kwejo Damoa, against any influence perpetrated by Eunice Asamoah Hene on him for the import duty waiver, several media accounts continue to insist wrongdoing, as we also doing here now. The council said they will resolve to pursue all necessary steps to protect the image of the chief executive, who is a daughter of their land. Now, clad in red clothes, headbands, and handbands, the close to 100 chiefs, queens, and traditional leaders from the Ahanta Traditional Council in the Western region all sat down in anger. Now, they went on further to say they were soon joined by some residents from the Ahanta and chanting songs of war. The traditional leaders had gathered to express their dissatisfaction with what they described as a deliberate attempt to destroy the business and image of Eunice Jacqueline Bua Asuma Hene. Now, Chief of Ahanta Abuade Nana Etzing Kofi, who spoke on behalf of the Ahantahin Otumfo Bedu Bonsu, said they find the assertion by the special prosecutor that their daughter used her position to influence the tax waiver unfortunate. Now, the question is, according to him, there are other companies that are benefiting from around a 12% tax rebate and therefore do not understand why the La Bianca company should deserve such a tax. Now, does she fall in the category of companies who are giving that 12% tax rebate? Nana Etzin Kofi says the Hunter Traditional Council fears the attack on the Western Regional member of the Council of State is a threat to business and investment from the private sector and unemployment. Now, flanked by other chiefs from Ahanta Man, Nana Etzin Kofi made a passionate appeal to the media to be circumspect in their reportage and also for the special prosecutor to be diligent in its quest to deliver justice. But my question here now at 12 o'clock is, now, what do we do if people society, what do you call them, influencers in our society are found capable of breaking the law in one way or the other? What do we do? Do we say because they are this as we say as a religion, Christendom, they say, touch not my anointing and do no harm to my prophets, and therefore this one are people, so we don't touch them. Whatever they've done, we just have to let them go for free. And when somebody go to because they are desperate, they need food to eat, they go to a shop, they go steal some not even a shop, they go maybe somebody's go steal some plantain or to the market and sell some, and then the person is imprisoned for how many years? So what is the truth in this story? Are there others as well? If there are others, definitely I will want the special prosecutor to do something about that, especially knowing that he said the search or the investigation has been widened now. What do you think should be done? Or is it like what the Professor Lumumba said? He said, this is our thief, leave him, it's our own thief, don't touch him, it is our thief. Is that what is happening there? Well. We're bringing you more on that from. But let me open the lines. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, it's 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. Now, those of you in the US, Canada, and the Caribbean area, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp me. It is 0753-966-1744. 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is @Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So do your best, get in touch, and I promise you one thing for sure: I'm going to be making your day by reading your story or putting your voice over. All right then. Now let's move on to some other stories in Ghana. Still, this time round, economic crisis, government sabotaging private schools. That's what the GNAPS NAPS is saying. The Ghana National Association of Private Schools has alleged that there seems to be a conspiracy to sabotage private schools in the country through unfavorable policies and total neglect of policy intervention by the government in an attempt to boost public schools. Addressing the opening ceremony of the 8th Biennial National Delegates Conference on Wednesday, August the 17th in Koforidua, the president of NAPS, Dr. Damascus Tourism, stated that private schools were sidelined in the national standardized test, denied training of the new curriculum, and were treated unfairly in recent computerized selection and placement system. Now, the state institution which are supposed to nurse private schools during this period of crisis have failed us. Rather than assisting us to embrace or brace this economic storm, some state institutions were worsening the plight through their actions, inactions, pronouncements, and in some cases deliberate sabotage. Inasmuch as many of us are reluctant to believe the conspiracy theorists who claim that some government agencies are deliberately trying to sabotage the progress of private schools as a means of boosting public school education, current happenings strengthen the position of the conspiracy theorists. How else will you explain a suggestion by the Director General of Ghana Education Services to the effect that 80% placement into Category A SHS should be reserved for public schools children, whilst private school students seeking to enter Category A schools be made to sit an entrance examination aside the BEC? There appears to be almost 100% concentration on public schools to the neglect of private schools, in particular our low fees private schools. Now, I think government is supposed to create the enabling environment for private entities or private companies to grow or to flourish in. But Dr. Damascus goes on to say, stress that NAPS will go to court to challenge the constitutionality of the priority quota system in Category A schools. Now, President of NAPS, Dr. Damascus, said the current economic challenges in the country have worsened the plight of private schools after COVID-19 dealt a major blow. He said the increased policy rate by the Bank of Ghana, high inflation and depreciation of the cedis are suffocating private schools, particularly low-fee schools that depends on loans to run. In Ghana, COVID-19 dealt a mortal, in a quote, that's what it said, mortal blow to private schools, especially low-fee private schools, many of which are still in the intensive care unit being kept alive with oxygen ventilators. Now, unfortunately, many schools, particularly low-fee private schools, never recovered from the coronavirus attack. A major lifeline which we use to revive our distressed private schools is credit. However, base rate increases by the Bank of Ghana have further worsened the woes of schools as proprietors find it too expensive borrowing from the financial institution. So what is the way forward for the private entities in the educational system in Ghana? Is government creating an enabling environment for them to thrive in? It's 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. And those of you on the Facebook, I think all the Facebook lines are working because I've made it all public now. Hope it is so. If you are watching us live on that, please can you send a message in so that I know that it's working well now. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on to one other story making the rounds in Ghana still. Now, the Trades Minister in Ghana, it says, I stand for unity. Alan speaks after Aduro so my apologies. I know Yomi says that in Yoruba they have a way that it's my turn. It's my turn. It's the same thing here. It's my turn. Health walk in support of Alan Chermantin. Now, New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Alan Chermantin has waded in the controversy sparked by remarks of Hobson Adoye at the health walk held in his name in Kumasi, noting he stands for unity. Mr. Adoye, who is a former staff of the National Security under Akufo-Addo administration, has come under fire for suggesting that supporters of the NPP from the northern part of Ghana are only fit for the vice presidential role. So they will also say they are being marginalized. He since apologized for the comment. Commenting on the development, Mr. Chermantin said, I understand with great concerns that the unintended consequences of these comments have generated strong reactions from different sections of the Ghanaian public, with the potential of creating divisions within the rank and file of our party at a crucial time in its history. The New Patriotic Party has always stood for unity, peace, progress for every Ghanaian without a doubt. These are the very same virtues that I have worked tirelessly to uphold in my years of service to Ghana and to the party. He, however, bemoaned what he described as dangerous trends in our body politic in Ghana of using misinformation and propaganda in instigating disunity along ethnic, religion, and political lines. He said, my attention has been drawn to disturbing headlines and discussions in the media in respect of comments made by Mr. Hobson Adoya after a peaceful health walk organized by individuals from all walks of life, in particularly sympathizers of our great party MPP in the city of Kumasi on the 13th of August 2022. And that brings us to the end of that story. Now let me pick one more and then we will be moving on to other parts of the world. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Okay. Okay, so the MPP executives have invited Hobson Adoye and Eko Vincent over a Drew Woso health walk. So we'll see what is going to come out of that. But because the program finishes at 12:30, we're going to be moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Algeria, the death toll from forest fires rises to at least 38 people. Now, several people suffered burns or breathing difficulties, but no new official figures have been given on the number of injured. Previous report from previously reporting that, and the Dos Santos body to be released to widow. Okay, and then Mali calls for Emergency Security Council on French acts, and those are some of the stories making the rounds there. Okay, now let's move on straight to what is happening in Mali, and I'll bring you what is happening in Algeria as well. Now, Mali has asked the UN Security Council for an emergency meeting to stop what is described as acts of aggression by France in the form of violation of its sovereignty, support for jihadist groups, and spying. A letter serving this purpose was presented to journalists by the Malian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Wednesday, addressed by the head of diplomacy, Abdoulaye Diop, to the Chinese presidency of the Security Council. Now, Mali reserves the right to use self-defense if French action persists, in accordance with the UN Charter, the minister said. Now, I have a picture of jihadist groups claiming to have killed 4 Russian Wagner Group mercenaries. The letter is dated August 15, the date of the departure of the last French soldier in Mali after 9 years of engagement against the jihadis. The junta in power in Mali since the August 2020 putsch has turned away from France and its allies to Russia. Mr. Diop denounced in the letter the repetitive and frequent violations of the national airspace by French forces and the flights of French aircraft engaged in activities considered as espionage and attempts to intimidate the Malians. Now, Malian authorities have several pieces of evidence that these flagrant violation of Malian airspace were used by France to collect intelligence for terrorist groups operating in the Sahel and to drop arms and ammunition to them, the text added. It is quite a worrying one there. Interesting. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story, and then we'll move on straight to some other stories making the rounds. This time round pertaining to what is happening in Algeria. Now, at least 38 people have died and several dozens were injured in forest fires that affected Wednesday 14 departments in northern Algeria, reviving the specter of the summer of 2021, the deadliest in the country's modern history. Now, 38 people died, 2 in Sétif, that's east, and 24 in El Tarf, that's the east, near the border with Tunisia. Interior Minister Kamel Beljoud announced during the 8 p.m. news. Now, several people suffered burns or breathing difficulties, but no new official figure was given on the number of injured. A previous report by the Civil Protection said that 4 people had various degrees of burns and 41 others suffered from breathing difficulties in Sok Aras, another border town with Tunisia. Impressive television images show residents of this city fleeing their homes in the face of flames. According to local media, more than 350 families fled their homes in Sok Haras. The gendarmerie closed several roads because of the fires. The 39 fires in 14 Waloyes are ongoing, said in the afternoon. The Civil Protection noting that Wilaye or El Taf recorded the largest number of fires with 16 fires, many still ongoing. Well, a very, very sad situation happening from across the globe. Can we say that this is because of the El Nino weather phenomenon, or what exactly is happening? It is 12:15. It is Starr Radio. You can get another 15 minutes to bring the program to a close, but wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away. We take a commercial break and then we'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program. To the end of the program, 30 minutes to the end of the program. I'm finishing at exactly at 12:30. Now let's move on to other parts of the world, looking at what is happening there as well. Drone pilots mark targets for new Ukraine offensive. As Ukraine attempts to regain control of Kherson, small drone units are playing a key role in targeting Russian armor. Well, we hope to see what they do on that. That's one of the stories making the rounds there. And blast rips through crowded Kabul mosque, killing 21. The story says at least a huge explosion has ripped through a crowded mosque in Afghan capital Kabul, killing 21 people. Police have said another 33 people were injured. Kabul police spokesman Khalid Zadran said. Now, Wednesday's blast occurred during evening prayers. The mosque imam is reported to be among the dead. It is unclear who was behind the attack, and a week after Islamic State militant killed a pro-Taliban cleric in a suicide bomb blast also in Kabul. Security reporters have now sealed off the blast scene in Kabul. Witnesses are described hearing a powerful explosion with shattered windows in nearby buildings. I saw that so many people were killed and even people were thrown out of their windows of the mosque. Now, one eyewitness said. Now, Stefano Souza, the head of the medical charity Emergency, which runs the city's main hospital, said his group had already treated 35 people, including children. Well, a very sad one there as well. Let me say good morning, good afternoon to my big close friend. He is from Afghanistan, Mo. It was nice seeing you this morning. I hope you are doing very well. Yes, we'll catch up later. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, interestingly, what caused? Oh, okay. This. Well, interesting. We had the Prime Minister of the UK on a visit somewhere in Greece, and then we had people saying that, well, he didn't care about what is up. The Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin is facing a backlash after being seen partying in a leaked video. Now, in the footage thought to be taken from social media, she and her friends, including Finnish celebrities, are seen dancing and singing. She had faced criticism from opposition parties, with one leader demanding she take a drug test. Now, Miss Marin, 36, denied taking drugs, saying she only drank alcohol and just partied in a boisterous way. Yeah. Now, the world's youngest prime minister makes no secret of partying and has often been photographed at music festivals. Now, last year she has apologized for going clubbing after coming into close contact with the COVID-19 case. Now, just last week, Miss Marin was dubbed the coolest prime minister in the world by German news outlet Bild. Now, commenting on the video on Thursday, she said she knew she was being filmed, but she was upset that the video had become public. He said, I danced, sang, and partied perfectly legal things, and I've never been in a situation where I've seen or known of others using drugs, he added. Opposition party leader Rika Pura called for Miss Marin to take a voluntary drug test, saying there was a shadow of doubt hanging over the prime minister. Other opposition party politicians have criticized both the prime minister and the media for talking about partying instead of more important domestic problems. And that is exactly what I was going to say there. There are more important domestic problems. If that is how she's going to distress and then come back, sit at her desk and look at the issue that is going on with the country at the moment, why not? Why not? Huh? That is what we did. Now we have Boris out. Now, he doesn't even give you a monkeys about whatever is going on. Now we don't know whether the price is going to come and what. He said, I'm going to reduce taxes. Now, the taxes that is going to reduce in a year, do you think that will help you to actually pay your energy, or the high cost of living? Will that help you in any way, shape, or form? How much? Definitely you're going to get something out of it, but how much is it going to? Will that actually cushion your, or keep you taken along nicely? Where are you going to get the extra monies from? Now we have Rishi Sunak who say, I'm going to give handouts, and they're saying that, well, you give handouts, and all that debate that seems to be going on. But if this lady can take a bit of a chill, dance her sorrows away, and come and do the work that she's supposed to do, what is wrong with that? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. No, Sundays I also do chill. I go to church and I dance, sing and dance, and hey, I will do all that. Hey, it helps us to also chill out a bit, right? Okay. All right then. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story, and then we'll move on straight to what is happening here in the UK, and we'll bring the program to a close. Now, Japan is urging its young people to drink more to boost the economy. So you see, Japan's young adults are a sober bunch. Now, something authorities are hoping to change with a new campaign. The younger generation drinks less alcohol than their parents, a move that has hit taxes from beverages like say rice wine. Now, so the National Tax Agency has stepped in with a national competition to come up with ideas to reverse the trend. The SIG Viva the Sec Viva campaign hopes to come up with a plan to make drinking more attractive and boost the industry. My goodness. So if you don't drink alcohol and you're not part of the world, see what you're going to be facing. My goodness. They're just luring you in to go and do that so that they can take money from you. Go and spend your money. Now that we are in crisis, my goodness. The group running the competition for the tax authority says new habits, partly formed during the COVID pandemic and aging population, have led to a decline in alcohol sales. If it wants contestants to come with promotion, branding, and even cutting-edge plans involving artificial intelligence. Now, Japanese media says their reaction has been mixed, with some criticism about the bid to promote an unhealthy habit, but others have posted quirky ideas online, such as famous actresses performing as virtual reality hostess in digital clubs. Now, contestants have until the end of September to put forward their ideas. The best plan will then be developed with help from experts from the final proposal before the final proposal are presented in November. Interesting. So maybe what do we have to do here in this part of the world, in the UK? What do we do so that people can spend more and then we can end up paying more taxes? You know, when people drink, they have all these alcohol problems, and then we have the NHS that's going to be, virtually coughing up to cater for whatever, that come from excessive consumption of alcohol, right? Now, so what do you think? What do you think exactly is going to happen there? Interesting. Japanese. All right then. Now in the UK front, A-level results set to fall from pandemic high. We have a few people who have received theirs, and the story said proportion of top A-level grades in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland has fallen since 2021, but remains higher than in 2019. Around 36.4% of A-levels were marked at A stars and A this year. Last year, 44.8% of exams were graded A or above. It is the first time since 2019 that A-level grades have been based on public exams after 2 years of cancellations because of the COVID pandemic. Now, students are also receiving T-level, that B-Tech, and other results this morning. This year's A-level marking system has been adjusted so that grades reflect midway point between 2019 and when 25.4% were A stars and A grades, and 2021 when teachers assessed grades led to a boom in top marks. Now, the approach was intended to bring grades closer to pre-pandemic levels, while reflecting that we are in a pandemic recovery period and students' education has been disrupted. Did you receive your rewards, your results today? And how did you fare? I'd love to know that. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, two other stories I'm going to bring your way. One very sad one. A man has been arrested on suspicion of a murder after the stabbing of a grandfather on a mobility scooter in West London. A 44-year-old man was arrested at an address in nearby Southall, police say. Detective Chief Inspector Jim Eastwood thanked the public for their overwhelming support following this horrific incident. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And that's why I said yesterday that the good book, the holy book, the Bible says that, look, honor your father and your mother so that it will be well with you, so that you will live long. It's not necessarily, literally, your biological father or mother, but any adult. Let me put it that way. I'm not saying when somebody is luring you to do some silly stuff, you go to do it. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. But somebody on a scooter, 80 plus, you go kill him. Well, even if he was upsetting you in one way, shape, or form, whatever he was saying, whether even he drew his scooter into you, whatever he did, they didn't deserve that. Just take it that he was suffering from maybe dementia. But when I say people behave that way, well, I think he needs to face the full rigors of the law, whatever it was. Even if this old man was mouthing, it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter. We live in a world where I don't know, at times some people's action, I don't know, well, someone would say that it's because of the stress that they might be going through and stuff like that. But what do you think? Well, as I've said, he has to face the full rigors of the law. A final story before we bring the program to a close, and this time round, remember back in the day when we had the COVID lockdowns and stuff like that, and when isolation and stuff like that. Now, MP Margaret Ferreira has pleaded guilty to exposing public to COVID. An MP has pled guilty to breach COVID rules after traveling by train despite knowing she had the virus. Now, Margaret Ferreira spoke in Parliament in September 2020 while awaiting the result of a COVID test. So then she then took train home to Glasgow after being told she had tested positive. Now, Ferrier admitted that she had culpably and recklessly exposed the public to the virus ahead of a trial at Glasgow Sheriff Court. Now, she was elected as an SNP MP but lost the whip and now sits as an independent. Now, the charge stated that she had failed to self-isolate and had exposed people to risk of infection, illness, and death. The sentence was deferred pending background reports until next month. The MP for Rutherglen and Hamilton West took a COVID test on Saturday, the 26th of September, because she had a tickly throat. Now, while awaiting her results, she went to church on the Sunday and gave a reading to the congregation and later spent more than 2 hours in a bar in Prestwick, Ayrshire. She then traveled to London by train, which had 183 passengers on board on the Monday, and spoke in the Commons later that day before finding out a short time later that she had tested positive for the virus. Ferrier decided to get a train back to Glasgow the following day, fearing she would have to self-isolate in London hotel rooms for 2 weeks. So she needed company. Well, the Prime Minister needed company. They had a party and all that stuff. Can we just let it be? Well. Listen, this is why I bring the program to a close for today. But remember, tomorrow is Friday, and I'm going to be coming your way with a Thank God It's Friday's edition of the morning show. Wherever you are, don't touch the dial. So, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's take this song. Well, if you are going through tough times and very challenging times now with the economic issues that is going on across the globe and whatever it is, well, I think you have to stand up and get up. Stand up for your right. A cover version of Bob Marley songs as well. And when that song ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me actually saying have a top of the day. Bye for now.
Stand up for your right.
Thanks for listening.
Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me, even it's under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not gold as glitter, it's gold. I can study ya, I never been told, and now you see the light. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
Thanks for listening.
Stand up for your right.
Broadcasting live online.
Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You see, most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make you everybody be blind. But if you know what life is worth, you would love for yours and girls. And now you see the light. Stand you're right. Get up, stand up.